Let us see the next topic, solution of non-homogeneous PDE by direct integration. So here is the topic. We are going to solve non-homogeneous PDE by direct integration. Let us start with one example. Here is our third order partial differential equation. Let us collect the given equation and let us split this into three derivatives. That is dou by dou x of we split this in this way, dou by dou x one time, dou by dou x one more time, then dou z by dou y here. So we have split this into three. Now let us go on integrating one by one to solve this. First let us integrate with respect to x to eliminate this derivative. What we do? We integrate this with respect to x. Let us integrate now. If you integrate this with respect to x, this derivative and this integration will get cancelled. So what remains is only these two. Integrating with respect to x, see what remains is only this. This derivative and this integration got cancelled. This side integration with respect to x, here integration with respect to x dx plus integration constant we need to write. We need to write the integration constant. Since we have integrated with respect to x, your y is constant. Your y is constant. Let us write that constant, integration constant in terms of y plus f of y, which is an integration constant. So this is the integration constant. Now let us simplify this first. We have the formula for this standard function, which is of this type, cos of ax plus b. This is your constant, you can take it as b, because we are integrating with respect to x, your y term remains constant. Now what is the integration? Integral of cos of ax plus b is sin of ax plus b divided by the coefficient of our variable, divided by the coefficient of x, that is a. Now here what is the coefficient of x? The coefficient of x is 2. Now let us apply this integral formula for this and write the answer. So this gives, this is equal to sin of 2x plus 3y, that is ax plus b as it is, divided by the coefficient, that is 2. Coefficient is 2 plus f of y as it is. So we have integrated with respect to x and we have eliminated one derivative. Now similarly let us integrate one more time. Let us integrate one more time and eliminate this partial derivative and integral. Your integral will come here and here, plus integration constant. One more thing we will get. So let us integrate this. Again integrating with respect to x. What if you integrate this integration and derivative will get cancelled? What remains is only dou z by dou y is equal to integral of this 1 by 2 we have taken outside as constant. Integral of this sin of 2x plus 3y with respect to x we have to integrate. To eliminate this dou by dou x, we need to integrate with respect to x. So we have written dx plus integral of f of y dx plus integration constant. One more constant will come here. Again, since we are integrating with respect to x, your integration constant will be in terms of y again. So we can take that integration constant as g of y. G of y Now let us simplify this integration. 1 by 2 as it is. Again we are going to apply the formula which is of this type, Slight changes are there. Integration of sine of ax plus b. Here it was cos, here we have sine. So what is the integration of sine of that? It is minus cos of ax plus b divided by a plus what is the integration of f of y? Since we are integrating with respect to x, your f of y is constant. So what is the integration of constant? Integration of constant with respect to x is constant into x. So what we get? Constant into x, that is x into f of y plus g of y as it is. Now I have taken the previous step here. So what are the changes? 2 to the 4 minus cos of 2x plus 3y divided by 4 into this. We have this. Now one more last derivative is remaining, dou by dou y of z. Again we need to integrate this with respect to y to cancel this derivative and the integration, so that we get the solution z. So again we say now integrating with respect to what? Y. With respect to y we need to integrate. Let us integrate now. If you integrate derivative and integration, you cancel, what remains is z minus 1 by 4 constant as it is, integration of cos of 2x plus 3y into dy plus integration of x f of y with respect to y plus integration of g of y. Now we need to, this is about the integration of this term till here. We need to write the integration constant now. Since we have integrated with respect to y, you can write your integration constant in terms of x now. So here we have written that constant, constant in terms of x as h of x here, Well, let us simplify all these to get our final solution. Minus will be 4 as it is. Integration of cos of, see this is, now we are integrating with respect to y. Now it is of the form a plus by. See it is of the form thus. So what will be the integration? In the denominator coefficient of y will come. This is a constant now. So what do we get? Sine of a plus by divided by coefficient of y, that is b here. So we have integrated plus. Since we are integrating with respect to y, your x will be constant, so will be taken outside. So what you get? X into integral of f of y dy. Now we can denote this as capital F of y. That becomes x into capital F of y. That is the integration of small f of y we have taken as capital F of y. It is just a notation for integration of small f of y plus. Similarly, you can denote this in terms of capital G of y plus capital G of y plus h of x as it is, Now very last step is 3 4s are 12 minus 1 divided by 12 into everything as it is. So this completes our solution. This is how we solve non-homogeneous differential equation by direct integration. Let us solve one more problem. We need to solve this partial differential equation by direct integration, for which they have given two conditions here. Let us see what are the conditions. The value of dou z by dou y is thus when x is 0. For x is equal to 0, the derivative value dou z by dou y value is this. They have given, this is one condition. This condition they have given here. This is one condition. One more condition they have given, that the value of z becomes 0 if y is an odd multiple of pi by 2. What do we mean by this condition? Let us rewrite this here. This means value of z is 0 if y is odd multiples of pi by 2. So this is the odd number. This is a odd number. That means if y is pi by 2, 3 times pi by 2, 5 times pi by 2, 7 times pi by 2. See, these are all odd numbers. These are all odd numbers. So for all such values of y, they are saying z takes the value 0. Now let us go for the solution. Let us split first this into two terms. Then we have to integrate directly. To cancel this derivative, we need to integrate with respect to x. We need to integrate with respect to x both sides. If you integrate, this derivative will get cancelled. What remains is only this. Let us see. Integrating with respect to x, see what remains? Only this. This has got cancelled. Integration of this term with respect to x plus integration constant we need to write. So what will be the integration constant in terms of y? Because if you are integrating with respect to x, your y is constant. So you can take the integration constant in terms of y plus integration constant in terms of y, that is f of y. So let us integrate. Since you are integrating with respect to x, your y is constant, so you can take sin y outside the integration, as here. See, we have taken outside the integration. Integral of sin x dx plus. Now we all know what is the integration of sin x. Sin y as it is. Integration of sin x is minus cos x. Integration of sin x is minus cos x plus this. Call it as equation number 1. Now to eliminate dou by dou y, we need to integrate with respect to y. Let us integrate with respect to y this equation. Integrating with respect to y now. If you integrate this with respect to y, this derivative and integration will get cancelled. What remains is just z. Z is equal to integral of this. When you are integrating with respect to y, your cos x is constant. So we keep this cos x outside the integration and minus also outside the integration. So we have integrated only sin y term. With respect to y plus integration of f of y plus integration constant. What should be integration constant? Since we are integrating with respect to y, your x is constant. Let us take the integration constant in terms of x, that is g of x. Now let us simplify this first. Integration of sin y. Write down this minus cos x as it is. What is the integration of sin y? It is the minus cos y. Integration of sin y is minus cos y plus integration of f of y with respect to y. Let us take this as capital F of y. Let us take this term as capital F of y. Integration. Let us denote this as capital F for time's sake. So we have denoted this as capital F of y plus plus g of x as it is. We have written g of x as it is. Now multiply minus into minus is plus. We got the solution. We got the solution. Now our aim is to find what are these terms. What are these terms? We have two conditions. Two conditions are given. Using those two conditions, given conditions, we need to find out what is capital F of y and what is small g of x using the conditions. Let us see what is the first condition. So this is the first condition. What is the first condition? Dou z by dou y is minus 2 sin y when x is 0. Now let us, where is our dou z by dou y? Dou z by dou y is here. Let us use this condition in equation number 1. In equation number 1 and find what is our small f of y. What is our small f of y? In the place of dou z by dou y, we are going to replace minus 2 sin y here. Let us replace. Equation 1 implies in the place of dou z by dou y, let us replace this. Minus 2 sin y is equal to minus sin y as it is. In the place of x, we have to put 0 here. Minus sin y cos 0 plus f of y as it is. What is the value of cos 0? It is 1. Minus 2 sin y is equal to minus sin y plus f of y. Now let us take this minus sin y to the LHS. What we get? Minus 2 sin y plus sin y is equal to f of y. Minus 2 times plus 1 time will be minus 1 times sin y. So it will be f of y is equal to minus sin y. So we got the value of small f of y. Small f of y. But we want capital F of y. We want capital F of y. So what is the value of capital F of y? Here capital F of y is nothing but integration of small f of y. Capital F of y is nothing but integration of small f of y. It is nothing but integral small f of y dy. Anyhow, we got to know what is small f of y. Small f of y is this. Now let us replace in the place of small f of y minus sin y and integrate. You will get to know capital F of y. Therefore, capital F of y is the integration of small f of y. Replace this here. This we have replaced. Now what is the integration of sin y? Minus as it is. This minus as it is. Integration of sin y is minus cos y. Then what happens? Minus into minus plus cos y. So we got to know capital F of y value is cos y. That we will replace. Here. We are going to replace here. We got capital F of y as cos y. Now let us substitute this capital F of y in equation number 2. Let us see what happens to 2. Equation 2 implies z is equal to cos x cos y plus we had capital F of y whose value is this. Now let us substitute in that place cos y plus g of x as it is. Call it as equation number 3. Now only thing is we need to find what is the g of x. To find g of x, let us use one more given condition. So what is the other given condition? The value of z is 0 if y takes odd multiples of pi by 2. Let us put this condition in the equation number 3 to find the value of g of x. Replace z is equal to 0 and replace y by odd multiples of pi by 2. Let us replace 0 here, cos x as it is, and cos of 2n plus 1 pi by 2 plus cos of again 2n plus 1 pi by 2 plus g of x as it is. And we know the value of cos pi by 2 is 0 and the value of cos 3 pi by 2 is also 0 and so on. So odd multiples of pi by 2, if you apply cos on that, it goes to 0. This is also goes to 0. So what you get? 0 is equal to cos x as it is, the value of this is 0 plus value of this will also be 0 plus g of x as it is. Now 0 into cos x will be 0. So what you get? 0 is equal to 0 plus 0 plus g of x. So what is the value of g of x? G of x is 0. Now let us replace g of x is equal to 0 in equation number 3 to get our solution. Let us replace 0 here now in equation number 3. Therefore equation 3 implies z is equal to cos x cos y plus g of x is 0, which we have not taken. Now what is common here? Cos y is common in both the terms. If you take cos y outside, what remains? Cos x plus 1 remains here. So this is the final solution of the given problem with given conditions. Let's solve the next problem. We need to solve this PDE. Given that the value of u is 0 when the value of t is 0. Also given that dou u by dou t is 0 when x is 0. We need to use these two conditions. This is one condition and this is another condition, and solve. Solve means what? We need to find the value of u. We need to find the value of u, which depends on two variables x and t. Which depends on x and t. U is depending on x and t. So let us find what is the value of u. Also show that after finding the value of u, we need to prove u tends to sin x as t is tending to infinity. As t is tending to infinity, we need to prove then. Solution given. Take the given equation and split this. Let us split this. Dou x of dou u by dou t. Now what? We need to integrate with respect to x. If you integrate both sides with respect to x, this derivative will get cancelled. What we say? Integrating with respect to x, what happens? This got cancelled. We have written only this, and in the RHS we have to integrate with respect to x. If you want to integrate with respect to x, this remains a constant. This will be a constant. So let us keep this e to the power minus t outside and integrate our cos x. Integrate cos x with respect to dx. And what about the integration constant? Since we are integrating with respect to x, the other variable that is t, will be taken as constant. So our integration constant will be in terms of t, that is f of t. Now let us simplify this. dou u by dou t as it is, e to the power minus t as it is. Integration of cos x is sin x plus f of t. Call it as equation number 1. Now let us integrate with respect to t and eliminate this derivative dou by dou t to get our u. So what we say, integrating with respect to t, you get u is equal to, since you are integrating with respect to t, your x terms will remain constant. So keep outside the integration sin x as it is, that is constant as it is. Integration of e to the power minus t with respect to t plus integration of f of t plus integration constant. Since we are integrating with respect to t, your x is constant. Therefore, the integration constant here will be in terms of x. Let us take that as g of x. What is the integration of e to the power minus t? The integration of e to the power at with respect to t will be e to the power at by a. This is the integration of e to the power at when you have, this is the answer. Let us see in the place of a, what we have? We have minus. So what you get is e to the power minus t divided by minus 1. That is the value of a. Plus, let us you can take this as capital F of t. Take this as f of t and write g of x as it is. This minus will be multiplied here in the next step, so it becomes minus sin x e to the power minus t f of t g of x, right? If they don't give the conditions, in the question, you can stop here. But they have given the conditions in the question. That means that we need to find what is the f of t and what is the g of x. Let us use the conditions. For the first condition is this: the value of dou u by dou t is this when x is equal to 0. Let us consider this condition now. Where are we going to use this condition? We are going to use this condition in equation number 1. Where is the equation number 1? See here. This is the equation number 1. So let me write that equation here. What is the equation? Dou u by dou t is equal to e to the power minus t sin x plus f of t. So this is our equation number 1. Now let us use this condition in this equation to find our f of t, small f of t. In the place of x we put 0, and in the place of dou u by dou t we put 0. Let us substitute here. 0 is equal to e to the power minus t sin of 0 plus f of t. But what is sin 0? It is 0. So it is completely 0. So what you get? Is f of t is equal to 0. Since we got small f of t is equal to 0, using this f of t value, we can find the capital F of t value, because capital F of t is equal to integration of small f of t. Put in the place of small f of t 0. And integration of 0 is 0 itself. We got the capital F of t value as 0. So we can replace this as 0 now. Let us replace. So u is equal to minus e to the power minus t into sin x plus 0 we have not written, g of x. Call this as equation number 3. Now we need to find the value of small g of x using the other condition from the question. What is the other question? Other condition also given the value of u is 0 when t is 0. Now let us put in the place of u 0 and in the place of t 0 to find the value of g of x. Let us use this now. 0 is equal to e to the minus e to the power 0 sin x as it is plus g of x as it is. Now here, what is the value of e to the power 0? E to the power 0 value is 1. So you get minus sin x. 0 is equal to minus sin x plus g of x, right? Minus sin x. If you take this minus sin x to the other side, what you get? G of x is equal to sin x. G of x is equal to sin x. So we got the value of g of x also, that has to be replaced in equation number 3 to get our required solution. So in this place we put sin x in the next step. Therefore equation 3 implies u is equal to e to the power minus t sin x plus sin x, right? So this completes our solution. And one more step we can do. You can take sin x outside. If you take sin x outside, what you get? 1 from here, 1 minus e to the power minus t. 1 minus e to the power minus t outside. See, we have taken here. If you take sin x outside, you get 1 minus e to the power minus t. Now let us go for the second part of the question. What is the second part? To prove second part, let us see what happens to u. What happens to u when t is tending to infinity? In this solution, if this t is tending to infinity, then e to the power minus t value is tending to 0, because e to the power minus t, if you replace it as e to the power minus infinity, you can write like this as 1 divided by e to the power infinity. Because of this minus, you can take it to the reciprocal. Now what happens? 1 divided by e to the power infinity value is again infinity. What do you mean by 1 by infinity? 1 by infinity is tending to 0 always. So that's why we have written e to the power minus t tends to 0 when t is tending to infinity. When t tends to infinity, in this e to the power minus t value tends to 0. So when you take this in this equation, this becomes 0. So what will be the value of u? The value of u is just sin x. So now what we say? Hence u tends to sin x as t is tending to infinity. So this is the second part of the question. So this completes our solution.